to order. Wes, would you please call the roll? Here.
Council President Bison,
Here.
Councilor LaCosta. Councilor Lauren, oh, I guess you wouldn't be called then. Vacant seat. Councilor Flores,
Here.
Councilor Romer,
Here.
Councilor Strauss.
Here.
Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay.
I'm okay.
Okay.
Just thinking.
I want to thank each and every one of you who took time to attend tonight. Any guests who are physically present need to fill out the meeting sign-in sheet near the door. We're running a hybrid meeting as usual to allow those who want to attend remotely to do so. Cut down on background noise and feedback. Remote attendees should mute themselves while not speaking. Staff members and guests on the agenda will need to unmute themselves to give reports to the council. Audience members may unmute themselves to speak during the public hearing and citizen comments. First item on the agenda is the council minutes. Are there any questions, comments, amendments to the November meeting? Hearing none, I entertain a motion.
I move that the governing body of the city of Halsey approves December 12th city council minutes as submitted. Second.
Was that December or November?
I read December. Oh, we need to do both though.
Yeah. Mhm.
I read December, but you're right. Okay.
Right.
We can just do December for now.
Well, we can't approve December till we approve November.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so I move that the governing body of the city of Halsey approve November 2023 city council minutes as submitted. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Any questions, comments, or amendments to the December minutes? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion.
I move that the governing body of city of Halsey approve December 12th city council minutes as submitted. Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is financial reports and journal entries. Fiscal year 6-month review provided packet. Is there anything else you'd like to include? Wes?
Yeah, so I don't have the reconciliations for November and December, but we do have a professional bookkeeper coming in tomorrow morning. Her name's Kelly, she's from CIS. She will be acting as a CIS person, she'll be acting as an independent contractor. She's gonna help us get ready for the year payroll and IRS and state taxes and ready for, so we can give the employees their W-2 forms. So have us all ready for the new city. Make sure we're all straight. I did include the current financial statement. So it shows, if you look at some of the pages, you'll see how much we budgeted, and then you'll see a percentage of how much we have. So that is for you. And are any questions regarding the financials?
Any questions, comments, concerns?
So will she help you get November and December reconciled first?
Now, next is agenda adjustments, and we actually do have a couple. We have Jocelyn Morales with Central Lynn High School. And she has a presentation for us.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Rowland. I'm an ASB publicist at Central and High School. I'm also your supervisor. My job as ASB publicist is to promote Central and High School through social media. In order to do that, the school has been putting out videos and we're trying to purchase a new camera that can have high quality videos and pictures. We've been trying to purchase this camera for a while and just to document document for the community to show what we've been doing and in general, give the attention sports teams deserve and how they've done. It also showcases the student bodies that were encouraged throughout the year, like choir concerts, drama events, spirit week, and those are just a few examples. I gave you guys a paper with some codes. These are some sports. I have taken pictures. I'm pretty sure the Central and Leadership Instagram is also on there. It has pictures I've taken, but I said I want to expand it to videos. So that's what I've been wanting to do. Being ASB, meaning ASB publicist, means that I have to come up with more ideas and my goal for this year to start doing. The camera that we want to purchase is $1,900. We have received a donation so far of total $1,000. 100 more to be able to purchase it. So we're put it there. I would like to ask for your help, and any donations are greatly appreciated. Does anyone have any questions?
Has anybody had a chance to look at the QR codes? Yeah.
I mean, I can say she takes great pictures and very involved. Cause you do
Right.
cheer too.
Yeah.
Cheer's not on here. Yeah.
Cool, for what I've seen with the stuff that they're doing out there is good, really good work. What else does the Associated Student Body want to do with this?
Leadership Day, so we did a policy. So as leadership body, we want to be leaders and we want to be accountable. So being able to have a video camera is just not using phones at all. I've been using my personal phone and I feel like as a leader, I should not be using my phone, and showing the camera is a good way to.
Any questions, comments?
Do we have a budget set aside for things like this?
Where are we at with our donation budget?
The donation budget is spent, but you do have fund that you could so, yeah.
Okay. The maximum is 500.
Hill too green for this one.
Yes. I think anything we can do to help student body, when they're trying to do a lot of the fundraising on themselves. They've made quite a good effort thus far and seem like they've been diligent about this. One thing I do is, where will this be kept? It will be kept safe, you know?
Principal will be keeping it in his office, but it will be.
Okay.
So it'll be run through.
Okay. So it's amongst you four. I don't have a vote. So any questions, comments? How would you like to handle this?
Or is the minimum we need for it to be like official vote?
It could be, we have quorum, so.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you guys decide to tie, the only vote I have is break the tie. So please don't tie.
Do you guys feel, I mean, we've got some money set aside. We normally, when there is an ask, we try to give something. So it's just a matter of if we for sure want to support them and how much. We usually do, I mean, it depends on what it is, but normally in the amount of 5.
Yeah. Are you going to the Brownsville City Council also for Central Lynn and talking to them, or are you just kind of focusing on Halsey right now?
Holiday first and then.
I'm ready for grass, Scott.
I kind of jumped her last night and be like, okay, tomorrow night, come.
Yeah, it's something I kind of communicated with Brownsville, and you guys need to help out too. So
Yeah.
it's entirely on them though.
No, if we have the money and we can comfortably do it, I'd personally be fine with the 500 and in hopes that Brownsville would be willing to match it and support the school, both sides of the
You
community.
can.
How much did you say you needed? We each donated 500, that would be more than 900.
So if we donate 5, then you have to go to them and be like, Halsey did, why don't you? Right?
Okay, so you guys,
Yay, nay?
consensus, thumbs up, thumbs down?
Do we have to do a motion or we just,
No, we don't? Oh, okay,
I'm okay.
500?
Yeah.
Okay,
Are you, Jeremy?
Sure. If we want to save a nickel, we can ask to split it halfway with Brownsville.
450, yeah.
That'd be my only.
Or we could go 300 apiece and make them scramble a little bit.
I know that. So it'd be nice to be able to get it her. Yeah, so it'd be nice to be able to get it to you so you can get it going.
Is the 1,900 gonna cover everything you guys need, or is there gonna be extra like cords or memory cards or anything that you'll have to purchase with it?
The Central Lynn has a yearbook camera and it only takes, so we have the camera, the bag, the SD cards. I think we just need the camera with the lens, so it comes with the lens as well.
I saw the bag on, when was the pep rally? Tuesday, Monday, whatever,
Thursday.
Thursday, yeah, that day, Friday, whatever, one day recently. But it's like a hard case too, and it's pretty big and it's got the styrofoam cutouts and everything in it. Yeah, that's what caught my attention. I was like, dang, that's a nice case. So.
We treat it like a race car and put a City of Halsey sticker on it.
Yeah,
So do you want to do 500? Do you want to split the difference and kind of lean on Brownsville? We got the rest. What do you want to do?
I don't mind splitting in the name of community cooperation. Try to be like, hey.
Let's split it.
Split it.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
So if we donate 450 to you, does that work? And then go to Brownsville and see if you can get them to match it. Okay,
Good. Thank you.
all right. We'll work on getting you. I'll get information and stuff and get you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Yes, we need new chairs.
Excuse me.
Okay,
On the floor.
so the next item, we're gonna move. New business one, filling Ken Lorenzo's vacant council seat up. Get that done ahead of time. Typically, we have that up as an item. So we have a full seat if possible. So currently we have Ken Lorenzo's vacant council seat. And we have 2 people who have applied, Ann Sunday and Jerry Wilson. Again, it's got to be discussed and please don't type. So, Jerry Wilson has been on council before. He vacated. What he vacated for is not occurred, so he's asked to be back on council. I think it'd be a very good addition to council again, as he's got a lot of institutional knowledge, which is always very helpful, and he always has a very sound thought process on how he looks at issues, especially financial issues. We also have Ann Sunday, and she's been on the budget committee. And you're also on the Pardon me?
Library?
You're not on library committee, are you?
Pardon?
Are you on library committee or are you on the building?
I'm also one of the city planning commissioners,
Planning commission, yeah.
and I'm on a different committee that we've never had a meeting since I was appointed.
So those are your choices? Discuss amongst yourselves and come to consensus. We'll run from there.
I know, I've enjoyed when Jerry was on before. He just always has a, I don't know, a unique view of things, so it makes you think. So,
Now, right now with all the changes, I think having someone who has the experience that he has with, especially some work projects and knowledge and that kind of stuff with Ken leaving, as he was kind of our go-to for all of that and the filter of knowledge. And the financial part that he is always very insightful on. Personally, I would say I think he'd be a good fit for the council right now, especially with how many changes we have going on with everything going on.
What do you think, Jen? I agree.
I feel too green.
Good.
No, I agree. As I've joked about, I'm fairly unexperienced on from me. And I know Jeremy's fairly new as well. I'm not too sure about Stacy. But I agree with this same sentiment.
So I would entertain a motion.
I move that we appoint Jerry Gilson to the vacant seat of city council.
Second,
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Well, thank you, Mr. Gilson. Come on up.
We didn't make him give his spiel.
Yes, that's
I can't swear you in tonight, I don't have a notary.
Okay.
We'll make arrangements, but there's no, you can't vote on motions.
Larissa was gonna be here tonight, but she's having some vehicle issues.
You can sit right here by me.
What, and get your chair? So, all those who are here in the council. These two together, it's quite the yuck fest. They're quite hilarious together.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know. Okay, so moving on to delegations, we have the sheriff's department representative here. Ready? Yes, sir.
All right. You too. We'll get the initial thing, the big thing everybody wants to talk about out of the way is the bomb threat. We had in December, that was a pretty big deal. I don't know if people have heard more information about that. That wasn't isolated to Central Lynn. That was like a state and nationwide thing. With the FBI being involved. Originally it looked like it was coming out of Panama. And I've heard rumors of a couple of other countries. And even just this week, we've had more bomb threats from courthouses, justice court, circuit court, municipal courts. So to get I don't know, but it's not a financial gain or anything, just more causing a disturbance. But they're going after schools and courthouses and bigger government buildings. We're having to do evacuations and stuff like that to contain the butt. But everything pointing to out of country origins. So nothing local. The good, I guess, that can be taken from that is really proud of our response and the amount of law enforcement and first responders we had, and try to communicate kind of what's going on. It's very chaotic. You have kids leaving, moving to different areas. You have parents trying to swarm in and get their kiddo out. We have 2 different schools we're trying to communicate with. We have deputies and first responders at the high school. We have deputies and first responders at the middle and elementary school. So it's super chaotic. But something like this, when it's treated like it's a real thing, amazing training and good communication. So we had multiple people sweeping the school. We flew drones overhead, searching perimeters and even on top of roofs. And then we had deputies just staying with the kids, just hanging out, in the church across. So, that's one positive thing to look at it as is if it happens. We were pretty quick. We had deputies in Brownsville and Harrisburg at the time. They were here just a couple of minutes. I thought the school did a fantastic job of following their protocols and getting people out, and proper notifications, getting pages out. It was actually ran really well for a fall event. God, I mean, typical Halsey, we did have a crime, the tavern was broken into. Not very good cameras because of the time of day, but it looks like a male broke into Julie's Tavern. Ended up stealing some alcohol and cash out of there, but we don't have any suspects because of video quality. We made an arrest last month that was just related to a warrant. Of the 32 calls, 21 were self-initiated, which is a very high number. That's a good thing. There's not a lot of people calling up for service in Halsey. Citations issued, running stop signs, speeding, insurance, driving while suspended, and some registration issues. So that's obviously more than 4. So a couple of those citations have multiple violations on them. I see anything concerning, 16 citations, 16 out of the 21. Self-initiated calls were traffic stop related, so it's good to stay active when we are receiving calls. Deputies are trying to stay active and look for calls and stuff. So. Any questions?
I do have one question for you. I absolutely appreciate the tremendous response by all the agencies, especially the sheriff's department. The only concern I have is I got a flood of emails and calls about what was going on, and we had no idea. Had not been communicated with at all. The only information we had was stuff I was getting from email. There was something going on. If I know at one point we'd talked to County Emergency Services about the phone tree.
Yeah.
And I thought we had been put on the phone tree for our area. That apparently didn't happen. Nobody at City Hall got communicated with until I had said, hey, what's going on?
Yeah. Have you since called to double check on that? And
Nobody's called me back.
okay. I'll get someone to talk with you. Okay. My only comment on that is, we don't even know what's going on,
Right.
right? The school's following a protocol, they get a threat via email, first thing they do, clear the school.
Right.
And then we get a call, we show up, and it's like apparently false due to like 20 plus schools in the state of Oregon receiving that. I can't speak for the people who sent out that notification.
Right.
When we've been a little too quick to jump the gun in the past, it's been absolute chaos. You know, and those notifications go out far and wide, more so than just this general area.
Sure.
You know, people are getting it in Sweet Home and Lacombe and like Style, and they get this alert and their phone goes off, an emergency notification, and they don't read it all the way. And now we have parents that are showing up at Style, trying to get their kid for bomb threat.
Right.
I was like, no, that's quality. But I will reach out to who's responsible for that.
Sure.
And I'll have them reach out to someone with the city to see what we can do about a content.
Yeah, it's just a matter of, hey, we have an event going on, we will fill you with more information as we have it. Something as simple as that. So the city staff's not caught flat-footed.
Yeah. No, totally understand. I'll see what we can do there. And I'm in a position more of like, I'm in the schools.
Sure.
Searching. So we'll run that up the chain and see what the thought process was on that. And then kind of see where the city's at notification wise. And if they're not on something, then we'll get taken care of.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. Questions, comments? No?
They're very quiet tonight.
That side's quiet. They're like this.
Well, thank you very much.
Yep, appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Be safe.
Thank you.
So Dave Kenny's not here. He promote, no, Hunter?
Yeah.
Okay. He shows up, we'll come back to him. So then we also have our newly selected city administrator, Rana Para. So, sure, sure, you want to give a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I guess so. Hi, my name is Brianna Para. Some of you may have seen me around. I moved to Halsey a little over 7 years ago. I have been involved in budget committee and other things around town. I've always put a lot of value in being an active citizen and volunteer for things that I think are important. I think it's important to be a member of your community. And I graduated from the University of Oregon with a master's in public administration. And so I saw the opening and was really excited at the opportunity to take the things that I do professionally and apply them to a community I love that. So I am very excited to be here. It's nice to meet some of you again and to see some new faces. And I really look forward to working together and doing some cool stuff.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have her here on the 22nd and start running.
I feel like I should take questions, but no.
Thank you very much. So the next item on the agenda is citizen comments. This is the time for interested citizens and anyone in the audience to address the council on any item of concern. Please limit your comments to about 3 minutes, and please start by introducing yourself and stating your address. Anybody online? Anybody in the audience? Going once? Going twice? Moving on. Did you have something you want to say?
No.
Okay. Okay, so the next item on the agenda is reports to council. We'll start with city administrator report.
So we got some good news this last month. We've got grants to cover both of our paid leave situations. So we've received one $3,000 check, and we have another $3,000 check to help cover Larissa and Madison's leave. That's through the Paid Leave Oregon Act. That helps offset the cost of labor, substitute labor, basically. And we qualify for both. And then we just introduced our new city administrator. I think I'm excited for her and the opportunity to serve our community. I think the council made the right choice. And then generally, there's a calendar prepared for the council in January. But we will be preparing it with the new city administrator, so her schedule can be accommodated. It shouldn't put you too far behind. Usually that's like a 1-page document. It's not like a big, it's just when the budget committee meetings are gonna be, when the budget will be finalized, when it'll be brought to you for approval, and then all that before June. So. And then in February, you'll probably be appointing a budget officer. And usually it's been the responsibility of the city administrator, so obviously we couldn't do that just yet. I guess we could have put that on you now, but and then another the fifth item here is the Sharing Hands Board. Since Ken has left the council, he might still be on the board, I'm not sure. But the mayor and I discussed whether we thought we'd like to have the council discuss whether they would like to appoint a new councilor to be a liaison for the council for Sharing Hands. And that's not a decision that has to be made today, but just something for you to think about.
That being said, should you choose to be the liaison for Sharing Hands, it's not expected you're gonna put 11,600 hours like Ken did. So,
We don't have to build a building.
no, not.
Goodness.
No, well, of course you want to, well, requirement.
When do their meetings meet? Do we know? So we can
Um,
kind of,
It escapes me at the moment, but we can get with Ken on that.
just so one of us can kind of see our schedule and see if it works into it.
Right. Sorry, didn't mean to jump in on you there.
Oh, no, and then the final thing is, we're having a panic button system installed at the library. The librarians and the volunteers often work alone and, we have a panic button system here at City Hall, but, I feel like the librarians and the volunteers should get the same, protection. And so I discussed that with the mayor. It's relatively inexpensive. And so it's $55 a month. And I forgot to tell Abby that will be coming out of her budget. But she does have it, so. But we want to protect it, so. Questions?
Any questions, comments?
I have a quick question, too. In the past, I'll say horrified to find out we don't have much for cameras. Has that improved any?
A little bit. But not much. We had some added, but there were some technical issues with it and just wasn't working well, so. I think it's on pause right now, but we do have some cameras.
Yeah, and I can show you. How to participate.
Is there anything in the plans of some cameras for the library?
The library doesn't cameras.
They do, okay.
Yeah, so the library, so City Hall, the library and
I think someone.
the shop have. Cameras. I can show you.
You can click on
Yeah,
participate.
okay.
It'll take you to the-
It's muted,
Yeah.
it's not muted. Over, right there.
Those two.
It should give you a list of who's online, sorry. And then you should be able to see who's. I can't see. His what?
Now it is.
So Andy's not muted.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Andy,
There we go.
if there's no questions for Wes, please just roll right on into the public works.
There we go.
report.
There we go. Well, for some reason it keeps kicking in and out, so I'm not having a good signal for some reason. But I'll continue as in the water department. I did the annual consumer confidence report, and civil engineer came to the water plant with tag automated systems for controlling planning for new controls for when we install the new well. Also in the water plant, we replaced a controller board and a solenoid for a clay valve for the backwash filters that were needed to be replaced. Just a little blurb, our meters are regulated through Camstruck, and they did an upgrade on their programming and created some issues for us. We had a couple of data logs that we were supposed to do and were unable to retrieve them. And so a lot of emails and phone calls back and forth, was able to enter that information in a different way to make it work. So as long as we keep doing it that way, it will still work. On the wastewater side, we spent some time getting ready of all of our equipment to prepare for discharge season. And in next month's, we have started discharging, but in next month's, I'll give you details. Along with that, we're looking into trying to change out our gas chlorine for disinfection. I had Tim Owens with Correct Equipment come out and look at our facility. For right as now, we're just trying to get some general information on what it would be to change this over. So once I get some of that information, we can kind of move forward and plan and budget down the road for that kind of changeover. For drainage at the Blue Heron, we had installed pump number 1, a Blue Heron, and we put a new controller that was kind of causing us issue. We had quite a few different things happening there. We had floats going bad. We had the controller going bad. We had floats tangling up. We got weights for those floats. So as of now, everything's working. All I have for my report. Any questions?
If new members of council, if you have not had a chance to get with Andy and Billy and see how the public works department works, I highly suggest. It's incredibly informative, especially the chlorine, how that works. It's
Interesting just to see where everything is
Right.
too.
right,
Cause they'll take you out to the lagoon and everything,
Yep.
do like a full tour.
right.
Yeah, I'm interested in doing
I'd be
that.
happy to do that.
Appreciate it.
We
Thank
just
you,
come
Andy.
in and set a
Yeah,
time.
anybody want to sign up for it? I'll be happy to do it.
You just shoot them an email, you
Okay.
call them.
Yeah, I'll send you an email.
You want to play out there, Jeremy?
I
Sounds
do.
good.
Yes.
Yeah, we can just
Yeah.
get with Andy sometime.
Absolutely. So next item on the agenda is the library report. Abby.
Okay, I'll start with the bad news, which is that there was a leak in the library over the weekend. It was pretty cool, thankfully, the heater AC unit, had kind of one big outpour, I think, and then after that, it kind of rippled or dripped a little bit. So we were able to just shut that off and it stopped. Only 7 books were damaged to the point that they need to be taken out of circulation, so that's pretty minimal and it could have been a lot worse, so. Yeah, but thanks to Andy, he was able to take a look at it and get in touch with the people who installed it. And it's back up and running now and hasn't been leaking at all, so thank you for that, Andy. But yeah, on to the better news. So we had a total of 77 visitors at an average of 4.26 per day. That takes into consideration that we were closed for 3 days for the holiday and then half a day for the staff and council holiday party. We had 76 items checked out, including renewals, and we added 3 new library cards. We added 30 books to the collection, which includes a few donations. I submitted the application for the library's Transforming Communities grant, which I'm hoping will fund the new door with the ADA compliant opening. We probably won't hear back for a couple more months on that. We also finished our food drive with sharing hands, and we had 3 tubs of food to donate, so I'm pretty happy with that. They were really grateful, so I'm hoping the next time, if they have another kind of lapse in donations, we can do that again. We had our holiday themed story time, and that went pretty well. I've also been in contact with someone who has done library story times professionally, and she might be interested in coming out and doing, I think, a story time with us once a month. I think that would be pretty cool. Hopefully we can get that going. I'm not exactly sure how it's gonna work yet. If it's gonna be for a specific age group, if it's kind of just gonna be all the kiddos. I know a lot of libraries do like infants or toddlers, or it'll probably be for everybody. The Parks and Library Committee and I are working on the 5K at the moment. We started pretty early, so things are coming along pretty smoothly so far, and we'll be able to start advertising for that soon. We have another committee meeting this Thursday, if anyone's interested in finding out more about that or volunteering for the event. Anyone's interested, you can just let me know. I'm over halfway done with the first part of the grant writing course that I'm in, and I'll start the second part again in about 2 weeks. And I'm currently working on, I think, 5 different grants that are gonna be due in this coming season. So those are coming along nicely. I also found out we did get the Ready to Read grant from the reading program, so
Oh, good.
that's when, we should be getting that money soon, and then I can start booking and paying for things for some of the reading. And then I'm planning to use some of the funds from the 5K for some of the reading program as well. Other than that, this, I'm not really sure what happened with it, but our OPAC system online was not updating and it wasn't adding any of our new books to the online catalog. I'm not sure how long ago that happened or what the problem was, but I was able to speak with someone from ResourceMate, which is who we get our catalog system from, and they said it hadn't been active since 2019 or something, so it was really, really behind. So thankfully, that is now up. I'm just trying to figure out how to update the hours, but the catalog is up to date. And see what works, we got it. And the last exciting thing is that I was able to speak to someone from OSU today who works with a program that does a library of things at a lot of libraries in the area. And she's very interested in getting one set up with us. Due to our kind of limited space, I'm not sure exactly what we would have, but he suggested dehydrators, stuff like that, you could just check out and they would sign some kind of agreement that if they don't bring it back or they damage it, they would replace it, but we would be able to check it out. And she's also interested in coming and doing maybe presentations on food preservation or budgeting, stuff like that. So I think that would be pretty cool if we had enough interest to get that going. I'm hoping we can get the library of things going. I think she said spring and summer are really good times to get it going. We could see if we could get kind of outdoor equipment, gardening, stuff like that. I think it could be pretty cool. So yeah, I think that's everything. So we can take questions.
Just out of curiosity, are we part of the program where if the larger libraries have a book, we can order it and it gets delivered here?
So what you're describing, I think, is the library consortium, which we are not a part of because it costs a lot of money.
Okay.
We are a part of the passport program, however, so people can get their library card with us if they live in Halsey, Peoria, or Shed, they can get it for free. If they don't live in any of those cities, I think they pay $20 a year or something. And once you have your Halsey library card, you can go to any of the participating libraries. And I think as long as they can tell that your card is active, I don't think they need to get in contact with me or anything. They're just.
Yeah, they verify, they'll look at your card and you have to bring like a piece of mail or something to verify like your address, and then they just sign you up for it. My family has like 6 of them, so. My daughter reads all too.
No one really even tried to use a passport from another state. But
Yeah.
to answer your question, we can't do interlibrary loans, but you can take your card and go.
Yeah.
To a bigger library.
And you can use their online systems if you have a passport card too, so like
Okay.
ebooks and stuff,
Yeah.
or like
Cool.
Canopy for movies and that kind of stuff, you can use all the same cards. Getting it shipped here, we would have to be able to pay for like courier and all of
Oh, that makes
that,
sense.
so.
In the past, we've actually had people get Halsey library cards because it's cheaper to get it here, and then they could go to the other library and check it out.
You're limited to 5 items at a time, but
Me.
One day, but. Yeah, I'm just to look into it a little more since it's reliable, say we're gonna pay for next year, so. Focus day.
Do we have a date or for the 5K at all?
Yes, it will be Saturday, April 13th. I think that's between the Eugene and Corvallis.
Yeah.
Marathon, so it's an ideal. That.
Okay.
We're planning on doing it slightly different this year in that we want to invite some vendors to come
Good.
and see if. There was a donut truck, we were interested in seeing if they wanted to come sell some food. I was gonna ask the tower, I don't know.
Yeah,
They have a setup.
the donut truck, yeah.
Is that at the beginning or the end of the?
Or you just drive along with donut hanging out.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe we'll be hungry for donuts and then. But. We're gonna advertise that a lot more this year, I hope. The very wonderful people in the committee have offered to help do that and get the word out. So we're gonna do that. I also think we're gonna sell t-shirts this year instead of including them in the price, because it's not very cost effective. I'm still looking into that though. But I think that might end up being a little more beneficial. But April 13th. Hopefully, I think solidly vote for something.
Anybody else? Well, thank you very much. Next is council reports, and we're gonna start with the mayor's report. Got a lot of stuff going on here, been quite busy. I was talking with the small rural resources department, and the new grant for the Oregon Parks and Recreation Department of Local Government Grants Program has announced their lottery fund grant. So I don't know if you've gotten at it yet or not. So we have dates for that, and for help local governments provide fund for playground equipment, restrooms, splash pads, bike paths. One thing I noticed is that it's double the funding available than last year, which is, it's a huge thing. So most ever in one grant cycle. And also, January 9th, today is National Law Enforcement Officer Appreciation Day.
Today is?
So when you wave at your local law enforcement, please use all of your fingers, say nice things, be helpful. And it's this time of year for the Oregon Mayors Association, if I was mayor program. We had been trying to get that stood up for several years. We finally got to go last year. That's what it was quite a bit of fun. You should have all gotten something about it. And this year I'm trying to get the elementary school, middle school, and the high school involved. So that'll hopefully bring a lot more participants. Deadline for application is April 5th. So I know that Amber is going to get a hold of the school district and get them on board as well, which I don't think it'd be a problem with that at all. I think they're excited for that. They're asking me about that last night. So. And also with Central Lynn, they're going to be trying to go up for bond for building all the school district buildings. And part of that is serving on the bond advisory committee. And so Superintendent Pelt asked me to be part of the committee. And we're going to be meeting between 8 and 9 times from January to December of 2024, reviewing the facilities needs and the district's facilities assessment. We're going to consider options for financing, potential bond, including amount of a bond and length of the payback period. And develop a timeline and long-term plan for addressing capital improvements, projects relating to facilities needs. There's going to be hopefully a lot of community feedback, hopefully positive. They're going about things differently this time. They tried to go up for bond previously, and it was never really handled well. I think the way they're going about this time is going to be a lot more constructive, a lot more beneficial, and a lot more community feedback and interaction. So you may be hearing from members of the school board and advisory committee. And that is that for me. Next is the Central Lynn School District with Michelle.
I just want to say thank you for adding the mayor's report in there.
Yeah.
It's nice to know some of the things that you've got your hands in too, so. Last night was the school board meeting. between the high school and the elementary school, one thing that I took away from it was that they've had a lot of engagement from families. The high school, the pie auction for the girls' basketball team, they raised $11,000 right before Thanksgiving. They've had the drama night, the concert and band and choir night, and he said that those were full houses. At the elementary school, they had family engagement night. He said that there were close to 150 families there. So that was pretty good. And then the winter concert, Joel joked that it was so full in the gym that he wasn't able to even get a picture of it because he was stuck back behind, so he couldn't see everybody. A cool thing that they're doing is they've made changes to the food service, and they've bought it into a new program, Titan, I believe it was. And so Cindy Chapman, she's the food service director. She's able to go through and plan menus and take into consideration the nutrients and follow all the guidelines and everything. She's also working on trying to get some locally sourced produce and meats and everything in there too, which is nice. Anyways, she had a presentation on it, the PowerPoint, kind of show us what it was about. It's on the district website, and it's pretty user-friendly and interactive too, so. Both schools, the feds changed their guidelines, and so the elementary school has been qualified for free lunches district-wide. Because of the levels, I forget which way it went. Now so all the elementary, middle school and high school all have free lunches, not free and reduced anymore. It's just free lunches.
Everyone or people can qualify?
No, just everybody.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so.
A lot of parents at the grade school have been really happy.
Yeah.
With
that's
help,
really cool.
especially with, inflation, everything going on. There's been a lot of positive feedback from parents.
Yeah. And they've been with this new menu, they've been able to try some different stuff too. And try to get some stuff that the kids actually want to eat out there instead of just throwing half of it in the garbage.
Yeah, but the tasting table or something like that.
They did, yeah. Well, and that came about from some of the nights, lost the name of it. The community nights, like she just did one, Dr. Pelt just did one recently about the 4-day, 5-day school week. And then did a bunch of surveys and stuff too. It's kind of like what she's doing with the bonds also. But one of them is where they surveyed all the kids and try to figure out, do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you want to see on the menu? What's absolutely disgusting? And then but they've also brought in some testing. They were able to taste some things. What was it? Teriyaki chicken
And the orange chicken.
and orange chicken. And orange chicken went over really, really well. So she's looking at trying to add that to the menu now too, so. There will be a blood drive coming up. Do you know the date on that, Jocelyn?
April.
Is it in April? Is that far out? Okay. And then literature night at the elementary schools in March. But again, I didn't hear a definite date on that one. I think that's about it. Next meeting is the 19th. Next month they have moved it, so don't look at this calendar.
Okay.
Same time though, at 6:30. I take care of both of you. That's all.
No report.
No report? Okay, well, that was quick, easy.
Make it for the rest of us who are all long-winded tonight.
So the next issue is old business. There is none. And so following with that would be new business. There is none. And amazingly enough, with the ordinances and resolutions, there are none. So with that, we're going to adjourn at 7:55.
There we go.
Do we vote?
Yeah, we do.
Exciting.
Woohoo!
Like you and the number.